He basically said that it was too much work to remodel 800 plus Pokemon in HD format, and that it's to ensure a balanced battling system. The battle system thing is pretty nonsensical in my opinion, but the first reason, it has a tiny sliver of truth to it.
Back the National Pokédex. Ever since the Pokemon Treehouse, where they announced that Pokemon not in the Galar region Pokédex will not be transferable to Sword and Shield, the internet has been an outrage.
I really have to explain why this is a big deal when the slogan of Pokemon is gotta catch 'em all. There's a big irony to all of this. Now you probably think there's a good justification for why they're doing this, right? And you know what? I really wish there was.
And honestly, Pokemon has nobody to blame but themselves for the outcry and the backlash that they're getting. They didn't offer a specific enough explanation for doing that. And a lot of people think the reasons they're giving for doing that are pretty bad. Laziness even. Now, I don't necessarily...
Still be great.
Oh, he tried it.
Honestly, I have to agree with a lot of people are saying. Gamefreak and the Pokemon Company as a whole have no excuse for what they are doing with Sword and Shield, but not just for the reasons so many others have stated. After having my own opinions, talks with others, looking at all the evidence, and still researching this topic, I have quite the collection of thoughts about this issue that I feel I just have to discuss with people. I will begin my explanations in this series of videos, which will delve into the many problems of our community, starting with Sword and Shield's problems that have caused such a community outrage and backlash that we have not seen before.
Wake up now and see the truth. I'm here to show the world to you. I'm going to make you realize. So open your eyes.
Now, let me start off by stating that this is not a video I normally do. I tend to avoid talking about news, topics, and other people because 1, I'm too small to be noticed, and 2, I don't really want to get involved in these issues. It's not what I like doing. I like battling, showing off what I know, having fun, and teaching others how to battle and helping them discover their own way to fight. Much like how I learned. But all this outrage over Sword and Shield, seeing so many people fighting, and even seeing people argue and debate fiercely about what has happened recently, has forced me to step up and examine all the evidence to make my own conclusions, and what I have is quite interesting to say the least. Let's first talk about the biggest issue, the lack of a National Dex, and the idea that we will never get it in the future again or be allowed to bring our past Pokemon into new games in the future. Among the reasons is because there are too many Pokemon, we didn't have enough time, they are working hard on new animations, they want to balance the battle scene, and they can't remodel all the older models for the new HD format. If there are others I missed or didn't discuss, I apologize, but we will focus on these for now. Now, being there are too many Pokemon for the new games is sadly a given truth we have to accept. There are over 800 now, and how many more will it get to before eventually we do reach this eventual state that a game simply cannot contain them all? 1,000? 2,000? 3,000? This is inevitable, but at the same time, this hasn't stopped them from trying before to include all the Pokemon they wanted. One need only look to Red, Blue, and Green and seeing how they had to cut so many things because of memory limitations. Yet despite that, they had to only cut out of the original 190 they planned to include 39 Pokemon, leaving us with the original 151 iconic Pokemon we know and love. Also cut because of limitations from memory were the female player protagonists originally intended, rebattling the trainers, and even the basic dragon type was essentially missing because of there being only one official dragon and only one official dragon type move. Now, as for there being not enough time and how they are working on new animations, we have not seen many of these animations, especially in the demo. I do not recall new move animations outside of 1 or 2 shown, both from Dynamax Pokemon and essentially similar to Z moves in terms of flashiness. If they really wanted more time to perfect it for us, then they should do as Miyamoto once said, delay the game so it becomes good, because rushing it is gonna make it bad, as some fans are now outright begging them to delay it. We have used the same animations for battle since the days of X and Y and beyond, and the DS and 3DS had the excuse of being limited in terms of what animations could be used because of hardware. The Switch, however, is vastly more powerful, vastly more improved in terms of graphics, and can take the strain the 3DS cannot. I could accept the standard double kick animation from Generation 6 and 7 being in the demo, if they weren't the final animations the Switch would use, but they do not seem to be showing them. Now, when it comes to balancing the battle scene, one need only look at how little balance they actually perform in order to try and balance out their competitive scene to see what I mean. I will elaborate on this in my next video.